we're going to New York and Police Commissioner Ray Kelly. Commissioner, you just heard Senator Feinstein. Do you think, is this the right way to approach this? Is banning assault weapons where you start banning these magazines that hold more than, say, 10 rounds? Or do you see it in a different way there in New York?
Well, I commend the Senate. I think it's certainly a move in the right direction. I agree with it. As the Senator said, it's probably a heavy lift in Congress. But for us in New York City, and I believe in most urban centers throughout America, the problem really is concealable handguns. Only 2% of the people that we've arrested for guns in the last 2 years have had assault weapons. We don't want them on the streets, make no mistake about it. But the problem is the handgun. 60% of the murders in New York City are caused by handguns, and we simply have too many of them. Even though last year we had a record low in murders in New York City and a record low in shootings, it's still way too many.
If you had a wish list of what you would like the Congress to do, what Congress could do to help you and your policemen who are out there on the streets, what would it be, Commissioner?
I think the universal background check can be helpful. About 6 million weapons is estimated were sold last year without a background check. So that's a significant, that's the loophole that they talk about. I think the background check will also be helpful in identifying straw purchases, making them more aware of the fact that they're now on record and you can record purchases that they make. So I think over time, the universal background check will have an impact.
I want to talk to you a little bit about this new technology that you're using up there in New York, or at least getting ready to use, and where you can kind of, I don't quite understand how it works, but basically you can point it at somebody and tell if they're carrying a weapon, I guess would be one way to put it.
Right. Well, we're not quite there yet, but it's called terahertz technology. We've been looking at it for several years, looking at it with the Department of Defense and also Metropolitan Police in London. Basically, everyone emits what they call terahertz radiation, and if that radiation is blocked by something, such as a weapon, you can see the outline of it. Now, we've tested it. We just received the latest prototype, and it's very encouraging. It's still too big for deployment in a reasonable way, but we're getting there. It's sort of like the cell phone was 20 years ago. So we're encouraged by that, and the British are encouraged as well. We hope to be using it at least experimentally in the next 6 months.
Do you foresee any problems with civil liberties groups who may say this is invasive on people's privacy?
Oh, sure. This is New York. There's no question about it. And we're working with our attorneys to see to it that it is appropriately used. We understand there are Fourth Amendment issues here. So we want to get everybody on board before this goes to any widespread use. But it is encouraging. And as I say, New York is probably the most litigious environment in the world, and we have to be aware of that before we implement it.
What about people who sincerely believe that when we institute tighter controls on guns, even background checks, that it is infringing on their rights?
Well, we understand that there are different cultures in this country, and I think the Supreme Court case, the District of Columbia versus Heller, pretty much made certain that the concept of people having a right to guns with some legitimate regulations is here to stay. We're not looking to infringe on anybody's right to have guns legally. What we're looking to do is get the illegal guns off our streets. And for our city, 90% of the guns that we confiscate are coming from out of state. So we need a national comprehensive strategy, or we need other states to put in the very strong, aggressive gun legislation that just passed under Governor Cuomo's leadership in the state legislature. So we are the target, so to speak. It's coming in from other places, but we're clearly not looking to infringe on the rights of legitimate people to possess guns legally.
All right. Well, Commissioner, it's always a pleasure to have you, and Good luck on keeping those streets safe up there. We'll be back in 1 minute.